Welcome to Storytime with Miss Mélange. I am so thrilled that you can join us. The title of our book today is Love Will See You Through. It's a book about Martin Luther King Jr., 6 Guiding Beliefs, as told by his niece, written by Farris Watkins. Enjoy! Martin Luther King Jr. is recognized as one of the greatest men in history. I'm proud to say that he was also my uncle. Uncle Martin worked hard to end segregation and discrimination against African Americans. As he did so, Uncle Martin helped make America better. He believed that love and nonviolence were the solution. They were the basis of his 6 guiding beliefs. One, have courage. Uncle Martin faced adversity with courage. For him, courage meant solving problems without using violence. In 1955, Uncle Martin led a boycott to address the problem of segregation that forced African Americans to ride in the back of or stand up on public buses in Montgomery, Alabama. He encouraged people to stop riding the buses until segregation on the buses ended. One night, as Uncle Martin spoke at a local church in Montgomery, he got the news that his house had been bombed by people who were angry about the boycott. He knew that his wife and 2-month-old baby girl were inside the house. Uncle Martin rushed home. There he found a mass of policemen, news reporters, and fire trucks surrounding his house. There were also many African Americans who wanted him to fight back. Wow, how do you think Martin Luther King felt here? I agree. Uncle Martin courageously resisted the use of violence that night. First, Uncle Martin made sure that his family was safe. Then he walked onto his front porch and told the people to put down their weapons. He explained that the bus boycott would be won only with a spirit of love. Uncle Martin was right. In December of the following year, he proudly announced that segregation on Montgomery's buses was over. Wow, how do you think he felt at that point? I agree. Number 2, love your enemies. Uncle Martin believed that as we courageously face our problems, we must seek to love our enemies. One Sunday morning, Uncle Martin preached a sermon called Loving Your Enemies. In his sermon, Uncle Martin explained how to love our enemies and why we must love our enemies. He said the first, we must make sure that we have love in our hearts. Then we should realize that there is good and bad in everyone. Uncle Martin said that we should find the good in our enemies and love that part of them. Uncle Martin said that the reason why we must love our enemies is because God wants us to. He also said that the more people hate, the more we will all live in a world filled with hate. Hate eventually destroys the spirit and the mind of the person who holds it, but love makes everyone stronger. Number 3, fight the problem, not the person who caused it. Uncle Martin fought his problems without fighting people. He believed that if you love your enemies, you can focus all your energy on solving the problem. Just before Easter Sunday in 1963, Uncle Martin went to Birmingham, Alabama, to stop segregation against African Americans in stores and restaurants there. He was arrested and put in jail for protesting. As he read the local newspaper, he discovered a letter by some of his fellow preachers and pastors. In it, they said that his protests in Birmingham were untimely and that he should back away. Wow, how do you think he felt here? Uncle Martin wrote a letter in response that did not attack the preachers and pastors, but rather focused on the problem of segregation. In the letter, he expressed his love and respect for the ministers. He knew that his letter was an opportunity to explain to hundreds of people why the battle for equality must be fought. Uncle Martin's letter received a lot of public attention and became famously known as the letter from Birmingham jail. Number 4, when innocent people are hurt, others are inspired to help. Uncle Martin believed that when undeserving people are hurt, it inspires others to offer their help. He demonstrated this when he sent to Selma, Alabama in 1965 to organize a voter registration drive and to stop discrimination that prevented African Americans from registering to vote. After Uncle Martin successfully registered to vote at a local Selma hotel, a white man attacked him because he didn't want African Americans to vote. Many of the people who fought for the voting rights of African Americans were also beaten as they marched and protested. When the world saw this cruelty and hatred, they witnessed the real evil behind discrimination. Across the country, people stepped forward to offer their help. President Lyndon B. Johnson was one of those people. Uncle Martin spoke with the president by phone. Later that year, President Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act, which outlawed discrimination in voter registration throughout the United States. Number 5, resist violence of any kind. Uncle Martin believed that we are all connected to one another. If someone hurts another person, they are also hurting themselves. He also understood that violence is a destructive force, but that love has the power to create and build. So even when Uncle Martin was hurt, he did not respond with violence. In 1966, he went to Chicago to protest practices that kept African Americans from having the same kind of housing as white people. And he and others marched. Someone who hated his protest threw a rock that hit him in the head. Uncle Martin fell down on one knee for several moments. He didn't yell out, throw the rock back, or encourage his supporters to fight back. He knew that responding with violence would destroy his chances of creating better housing for African Americans. Uncle Martin got back up and continued the march. With a spirit of love, he stayed focused and kept working. Later that year, the Real Estate Board, Housing Authority, and banking institutions of Chicago all agreed to stop housing discrimination towards African Americans. Number 6, the universe honors love. Uncle Martin believed that a higher force in the universe honors us when we use love. He put a lot of love out into the universe, and the universe honored him by giving him the power to achieve great things. Although he lived his life in constant danger, he refused violence because he knew that love would prevail. Though Uncle Martin was killed by an act of violence, people have honored his legacy of love. The name Martin Luther King Jr. is recognized all over the world. A national holiday is named for him and celebrated every year. Countless city streets are named after him all over the world. Buildings and memorials stand in tribute to him. But more important than any of that, America is a better place because of Uncle Martin. Uncle Martin was a man of peace. Love was his way of life. Uncle Martin's 6 guiding beliefs teach us that love has power. His life was proof of that. And let's not forget, love will see you through. And that is the end of Love Will See You Through. My question to you, boys and girls, is what is one of the principles that you will take with you today? Go ahead and share that with someone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching it to the end. That really helps me as a YouTuber. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so YouTube knows that this channel is valuable. As always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.